Okay. Oh, but it's not RPO 8. The previous one is RPO 9, and it is RPO 10. Okay, I would change it later. RPO 10. So, wear a visor and a pair of haptic gloves. My mom helped me clear my phone away from the car. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. So, mm, so I think her mom is not a good mom. Yeah. So, from that moment on, I was more or less raised by the Oasis interactive educational programs, which any kid could access for free. I spent a big chunk of my childhood hanging out in a virtual reality simulation of Sesame Street, singing songs with friendly Muppets, and playing interactive games that taught me how to walk, talk, add, subtract, read, write, and share. Once I mastered those skills, it didn't take me long to discover that the Oasis was also the world's biggest public library, where even a penniless kid like me had access to every book ever written, every song ever recorded, and every movie, television show, video game, and piece of artwork ever created. The collected knowledge, art, and amusement of all human civilization were there, waiting for me. But gaining access to all of that information turned out to be something of a mixed blessing, because that was when I found out the truth. Okay, um I'm not so into that. Yeah, so I will fix it to 40, like 4500 kbps. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, I continue. I don't know. Maybe your experience differ from mine. For me, growing up as a human being on the planet Earth in the 21st century was a real kick in the teeth, existentially speaking. The worst thing about being a kid was that the worst thing about being a kid was that no one told me the truth about my situation. In fact, they did the exact opposite. And of course, I believed them because I was just a kid and I didn't know any better. I mean, Chris, my brain hadn't even grown to full size yet. So how could I be expected to know when the adults were bullshitting me? Uh, look like look like he's really hit his life. So I swallowed all of the dark ages nonsense they fed me. Some time passed. I grew up a little, and I gradually began to figure out that pretty much anyone had been lying on me about pretty much everything since the moment I emerged from my mother's womb. This was an alarming revelation. This was an alarming revelation. What is revelation? What is revelation? Revelation. Mặc khải, điều phát giác, sự tiết lộ, leakage. That this was an alarming revelation. 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 Sự tiết lộ. Sự tiết lộ. Revelation. Revelation. Um, it gave me trust issues later in life. I started to figure out the ugly truth as soon as I began to explore the Free Oasis library. The facts were right there, waiting for me, hidden in old books written by people who weren't afraid to be honest. Artists and scientists and philosophers and poets, many of them long dead. As I read the words they left behind, I finally began to get a grip on the situation. My situation, our situation, what most people referred to as the human condition. It was not good news. I wish someone had just told me the truth right up front. As soon as I was old enough to understand it, I wish someone had just said, "Here's the deal. Wait, you're something called a human being. That's a really smart kind of animal. Like every other animal on this planet, we are descended from a single celled organism that lived millions of years ago. This happened by a process called evolution. This happened by a process called evolution, and you'll learn more about it later. But trust me, that's really how we all got here. There's proof of it anywhere, everywhere, buried in the rock. That story you heard about how we were all created by a super powerful dude named God who lives up in the sky. Total bullshit. The whole God thing is actually an ancient fairy tale that people have been telling one another for thousands of years. We made it all up, like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Oh, and by the way, there's no Santa Claus or Easter Bunny. Also bullshit. Sorry, kid. Deal with it. You're not probably wondering what happened before you got here. An awful lot of stops, actually. Once we evolved into humans, things got pretty interesting. We figured out how to grow food and domesticate animals so we didn't have to spend all of our time hunting. Our tribes got much bigger, and we spread across the entire planet like an unstoppable virus. Then, after fighting a bunch of wars with each other over land, resources, and our made up gods, we eventually got all of our tribes organized into a global civilization. But honestly, I wasn't all that organized or civilized, and we continue to fight a lot of wars with each other. But we also figure out how to do science, which helped us develop develop technology. For a bunch of hairless apes, we have actually managed to invent some pretty incredible things. Computers, medicine, lasers, microwave ovens, artificial hearts, atomic bombs. We even sent a few guys to the moon and brought them back. We also a global communications network that lets us on talk to each other all around the world, all the time. Pretty impressive, right? But that's where the bad news come in. Our global civilization come at a huge cost. What is come at a huge cost? We needed a whole bunch of energy to build it, and we've had oh my god,